Good morning, everyone. Welcome to podcast number 234. Where does stress and distraction come from? Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. So I want to welcome everybody to make it a great day. This week is going to be absolutely fantastic. I hope people are excited to be back to work if you were on spring break. I really hope you had a good weekend with some of the good weather that we had, and on we go. So I wanted to let everyone know that we topped 40, actually it was, I think last week, we topped 40,000 downloads the other day, so I thought that was pretty neat. That was a really nice milestone. I'll keep you up to date as we go. So when we hit 80,000 and then 100,000 downloads, that means somebody has listened to a podcast for the first time 40,000 times on the Elevate Construction podcast. So if somebody downloaded it or hit an episode and then paused it and then watched it again and then paused it and watched it again, it only counts as one time. So that's really neat. So really, if you're talking about listens, that's probably somewhere around, 80 or 100 or 120,000 times that the podcasts have been listened to. But original downloads, that's 40,000. So that's super exciting. I've also been jamming with Business Mastery. So I'm back. Like me as a person, I need constantly on a year-to-year basis or even every 6 months, some motivation, some excitement, some just energy, passion, motivation, drive. I think I said motivation twice, but Business Mastery has done that for me. And I've gotten so many notes that are implementable that I'm going to start to incrementally work on constantly. If you ever get a chance to go to Tony Robbins Business Mastery, please, please, please do it. It's a 5-day program. It's a butt kicker. I'm only 2 days into it, but boy, there are things that, like a couple of things that I decided to do that I had let go dormant for just a little bit is my focus. I realized that, sometimes I mirror the energy of customers on purpose to build rapport, but really I'm in the business of elevating construction. I want them to mirror me. I want them to mirror my energy. I want people coming to trainings to come out of their comfort zone. I want people to evaluate me based on me. And so I've decided that's wherever I go, I'm going to deliver that kind of experience. The other thing is immediately I'm going to start up a superintendent or a field engineer boot camp, probably first superintendent boot camps in the Northeast, in the South in Texas, in the Southwest, and probably Southern California, and get those started and get people into those trainings, because once people start to experience those, the word of mouth will spread. So I'm just completely dedicated to the vision of our company and the direction that we're headed. So I am jamming, just absolutely. I'm back. I normally operate with a certain level of passion that's a whole lot higher than it has been the last couple of months. And so now it's on. These virtual trainings are amazing. So a couple of things here in the podcast moving forward. If you have a question, I want you to know that I will answer it with a YouTube video. I won't call you out by name. I won't mention your company. I'll just mention the question that you have or the problem. Maybe you have a difficult foreman on site. Maybe you have a team member that is acting a certain way. Maybe you have some kind of procurement issue. Maybe you have this large project that you're nervous about. Maybe the design team isn't coming together. Whatever the question is, let me know, and I will answer your question with a YouTube video and send it your way and put it in the podcast notes. I want to, wherever I am, start to answer these questions where I live and my place of business, include my family, show some personality, and just really get the answers to you. The other thing is, if you want to attend a boot camp, whether it's the field engineer boot camp or project engineer boot camp, or the superintendent or the project manager boot camp, I need to know as I begin to launch these. Please contact me. We'll set up dates. I'll get a little quorum going, and I really need to know those things so that I kind of know where to head first, because first I'm going to set up, I'm going to head in the direction of the superintendent boot camps. And if you want an experience that will change your life, that will pull you out, that will increase your energy, that will make you a better husband or wife or partner, then you want to go to one of these. And the other thing I would like to say is I realized that my focus has been too general. I'm like, yeah, at Elevate Construction, we'll help you take your next step. We'll help you. No. I recover projects or teams. I provide remarkable training in construction, and I do business consulting for construction companies. Those are my three things. So if you know of a project that needs recovered training that is needed or business consulting that is needed, please refer me. Please let them know. Please say, hey, contact Jason, because I want to get in contact with the right people. My ideal client is somebody who cares about their people first, who are willing to move at the right pace, and who are willing to spend money. Money is just not an issue. That's the silly thing. Somebody will be willing accidentally to go spend like $300,000 or $400,000 on a negative fee position, but they won't spend $10,000 to have me come out for a couple of days or a week. Like that's very short-sighted. We need to recover these projects. We need to get in the right direction. So people that care about their folks first, people that are ready to go at the right pace, and fast is most of the time the right pace, and spend the money. So there you go. Let me know. Please refer me. I would appreciate that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So I heard something in Business Mastery that I figured I absolutely have to share with you, or else I would be stealing from you. So Tony Robbins has this bronze, silver, and gold player I call it a chart or classification. So let me read it to you first. Bronze players have a good attitude and decent skills, but neither are great. Silver players have an excellent attitude, but their skills could use improvement, and improving skills in someone who is willing to be coached. Someone with an excellent attitude can usually accomplish quite easily. Gold players. Gold players exist on another level. Gold quality employees are outcome driven. They're mission driven, and time disappears for them. They love the core of the company, and they walk the walk. Their psychology is solidly dedicated to doing what it takes to serve the mission. But gold quality employees also have extraordinary skills. When you combine this with their extraordinary mindset, psychology, and attitude, you have someone who is unstoppable. Employees who possess all of these qualities are truly gold players. And so I really like this. I have zero issues with classifying human beings and their potential with their current behaviors, because again, in lean, we don't blame people, we blame processes, but we also, according to me, we also blame behaviors. We don't blame people, we blame processes, and we blame behaviors, because if we were to ignore bad behaviors, we would have a very garbage, non-functioning company. If we were to ignore processes, the same thing. If we blame people, though, we are in trouble, because people have a lot of potential. So if you have a bronze or a silver player, or even the golds, you are going to want to put them with a coach, with a mentor, with somebody who can get them to the next level and allow them the opportunity to provide them the opportunity to take it to the next level. But if you have a bronze player that after a couple of months with a mentor is not progressing, then we need to invite them to a safer, healthier mental environment where they can succeed somewhere else. Same thing possibly with the silver players. I just want you to keep that classification in there. The gold players, you will want to focus on them. You will want to spend most of your time with them. You will want to promote them, publicly acknowledge them. And you will want to have them focus on giving to everyone else so that everyone in the company elevates. So a couple of things this morning before we get into our topic, which is about distraction and stress. That's what the topic of today's podcast is about, distraction and stress. But first of all, what am I excited about? Some feedback, and then we'll get right into the podcast. So what am I excited about in life? I'm excited about the upcoming boot camps. So I realized with the connections that I've made there are at least 2 or 3 or 4 employees that will beg per company. And I mean that because it's so awesome and because they want the training, not because of me. I'm saying because they are awesome people. They love training. They love progress, that will beg to get into a superintendent boot camp in the Northeast. Like I said, South Texas, Southwest, Southern California, at least right now. And I'm going to set these up, get the location, work on getting those attendees put together. Well, I already have the great agenda and the great program for them, but I really custom tailor it, do some initial Zoom calls with them, make sure that they're getting the content that they would expect that would be remarkable for them, and get those going. And so if you're interested in that, please reach out to me. I'm so excited about that because those events will scale word of mouth. They will go quickly. That is what I was meant to do. I want to do a boot camp, an FE boot camp, a super boot camp once a month. I mean, they're tiring and it takes everything. I go there with my whole family. Well, most of my family, at least some of the big kids, and some really great people. Those are where I want to be. So I will be calling you if you have any business with me. I'll be reaching out on LinkedIn and we're going to get some groups together and get those started. So let's talk about some feedback. I've been getting a lot of feedback lately. Really nice. The other thing is, this is kind of silly, but I'll just share it with you. So I ordered 100 of the superintendent books, and I ordered them because I want to send them to really good dynamic companies. And here's the thing: if you receive a mailer from me, if you receive an invitation, if you receive information about the book, about the podcast, about services and things like that, that's because I think you're a cool company, and I want to see cool companies thrive, and I want to see people and companies that don't take care of people, I don't want to see them thrive. So if you receive these from me, then that means that. And so I got an order of 100 of these, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this book is just so beautiful. Never underestimate the power of having a book. Here's the other thing I love: when people give you feedback and you update it and it becomes kind of work in progress. I love that. So, what was I talking about? When I ordered this 100, I'm like so excited about sending this out and connecting with people, but just even looking at it and having it on my desk is just a joy. So I just wanted to share that little moment with you. I hope that wasn't off-putting. Anyway, so let's talk about our fans. He says, "Hi, Jason. My name is," and I'm not going to tell you the name. "I've been reading Elevating Construction Superintendents. Just wanted to say, outstanding read. I am thoroughly enjoying the book." And so I appreciate you who sent this to me. That's really fantastic. So let's get right into the podcast content for today. And this is going to sound kind of forward, but I'm saying this because I love you. I've got my hands put together into a heart symbol right now. I love you. Don't be mad at me. I'm going to say that most of the time, distraction is fear. Most of the time, stress is fear. And just really quickly before I go on, when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just too busy. Oh, I can't get to that. Oh, I'll get to that as soon as I can. Oh, and they're just not getting to it. Or, oh, I have to go for a foreman or super, and let me go to Home Depot and get the materials. Let me get distracted. Oh, I'm so busy." Usually, all that means is that they're scared to death to go be a leader and go do what they need to do, and because of fear. Most of the time, the stress that we deal with is fear. Oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, I can't handle it. Oh, it's just all fear. And we have to get rid of fear. If you want to get rid of fear, there was something that Tony Robbins was saying. And when I first heard this, it did not make sense to me. He said, "Dance with your fear." And he showed that to me on stage. And I'm like, okay, well, I think I understand that. The bottom line is, fear will always be with you. You are never, ever, 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 ever going to get rid of fear. Ever going to get rid of it. And so if I just told you that you're never going to get rid of fear, and then I told you distraction and stress are fear, then what are we supposed to do with it? Well, you dance with it. You don't focus on it, or you use it to help you. So when you dance with it, that means it shows up in your life and you look at it and you move in a different direction. And so that's kind of like dancing. When you're dancing, you move in different directions, right? Or you say, all right, I see you there, eating disorder. I see you there, depression. I see you there, whatever and I'm talking about non-clinical depression. Clinical depression, like you have to get help. But for most of the other fears day to day that we can deal with and handle on our own sometimes, then you can say, I see you there, but go focus and do the right anything. Have a right thing anyway. Have the focus, have the determination to head in that right direction, right? Or you can use it to your advantage and say, no, I'm not afraid of that. I'm more afraid of the consequences of not doing that, and use it to your advantage. So fear is something that's either to be danced with, not focused on, or used to your advantage. So really what happens is that there are tough decisions that are to be made on a project. And that's kind of fearful. And instead of making those tough decisions, we go back into the safe mode, which is let me look busy. So being distracted, being too busy looks busy. Being stressed looks busy. And so when we look busy, we feel like, oh, this is what when I was a kid got me loved. This is when I got my first job, got me that promotion. If I look busy, people will think I'm doing my best, I'm trying my best, but really you're just abdicating leadership. And I'm saying this to help you. Please don't get mad. I mean, it's your career. If you want to get mad at me, that's your decision. But what I'm saying is what will get you to be a leader, no, let me say that again. What got you to be a good worker, what got you loved by your parents will not make you a great leader. What makes you a great leader is doing the hard things and making the tough decisions. And it not looking busy. In fact, if you're looking busy, looking distracted, and looking stressed, then the bottom line is you're stuck with fear. You deserve better. Let's get you out of that. Okay. So being a leader requires tough decisions. I mean, bottom line. I remember just quickly a project director that would always just be so busy. Oh, I've got 5 or 6 projects. Oh, I've got so many emails. I've got these tough things going on. And would never engage with the lead superintendent, never engage to build the team, never really engage with the difficult situations. Anytime the owner was around having a hard moment, anytime something bad was happening, anytime the risk was there, anytime he was gone. Because, oh, I've got to be over here and do this. And it was like, oh, thank you for doing that. Well, all that was is fear. That person could have worked on his emails better, could have been more organized, could have done that in a time block situation, could have been more focused on the difficult situation, could have trained the team, could have engaged with the owner, could have been there and been present when problem solving needed to be done, could have waited to answer that email. But the distraction looked busy, the stress looked busy, and kept this really safe place for him because he was afraid to engage. And so again, doing what is right requires tough decisions. Let me give you an example of this. I was thinking about, Katie and I finally figured out that most companies, and this isn't an insult, this is just the way it is, that most companies will pay to recover a failing team or a failing project, and actually pay lots of money. But they won't pay for training for their people because it doesn't seem like an emergency, right? Because training is a long game. And so the realization was, okay, so we're going to really focus our marketing campaigns on project recovery. And as a part of that project recovery, I'm going to pull the whole project team whenever it's appropriate, if it's a part of what's needed on the project. I'm going to pull that project team in for a day or 2 days, or maybe even the whole job site, maybe every single worker into a building, 3 or 6 feet apart according to COVID-19 standards, and provide training and communication and leadership that will get everybody headed in the same direction, that will provide the right direction. So get onto a project, assess it, find out what's going wrong, immediately build the team, get the project schedule into a flow, make sure we're focusing on contract work, separate the change orders and make sure that we're not distracting the team, get everybody headed in the same direction, get flow back in there, reduce the costs, reduce the manpower or the crew counts rather, I'm going to have to program my mind. Crew counts, reduce the crew counts, reduce material inventory and get going. And you can recover a project pretty quickly doing that, right? So The hard decision is this. Oh, we can't shut the job down for a day. We can't take that time. Or, oh, we can't gather all the workers today to get them on the same page. We can't do a purge of the project to make sure that it's clean. We can't change up the schedule right now to bring back flow. The hell we can't. Absolutely we can. I make the tough decisions. If you want me on a project working in 2 to 3 days, that project team will start to have fun again. They will have a light at the end of the tunnel. They will start enjoying their families again. And it's because I don't have a problem making the tough decisions. Even if all the risk is on me. If you're like, yep, you could get kicked off the project or we're not going to pay you. Yeah. Okay, like I'm going to make the tough decisions. We are going to purge this site. We are going to remove that troublesome foreman. We are going to fix this openly as a project team with the interpersonal conflict here. We are going to have that tough conversation with the owner. That's what I do. That will recover a project every time. The problem, most of the time when your project is failing, it's because you're not making the tough decisions. And so I'm telling you that because, again, I love you. You have to do the right thing. I remember, and going back to a number of projects that I led as lead superintendent, and I'm not bragging. Some people say about Paul Akers, he's always bragging. No, he's sharing. Jason, he's bragging. No, I'm sharing. I'm sharing that. When we started that project, they were like, I said, we need to do a tact plan and get flow into this project. We don't want to do that. Yeah, don't care. I love you. Lean says, let's do it together. Let's decide together. Well, if they've never done tact planning, then it's not open for debate. This is the right answer. We need sometimes a very strong leader. It's always dependent on the phase of the team. If you have a team that is in the forming, storming, or norming phases, you need a strong leader that is somewhat dictatorial. Only when you get into the norming or performing phases can it be a collaborative, integrated system. And that's what people don't understand. Everyone's like, lean is about consent. Lean is about collaboration. Lean is about asking people what they want. Well, if Henry Ford asked people what they want, they would have wanted faster horses, right? Like, we need to show people the right way, get them to where they're a high-performing team. That's why I always say build the team first and do the right thing. So at the research laboratory, at the cancer center, at a number of these places, I was like, this is how we bring flow into the schedule. Well, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, it's now in the work order, and now we're contracted to it. This is where we're headed. I don't want to prefabricate most everything. I want to stick build it on site. Well, no, that's where we're headed. We need to have negotiations about realistic situations where you wouldn't do this. I don't want to do the morning crew preparation huddle or the morning huddle. Well, that's what we're doing. So let's have a discussion about why you don't feel like that's something that the workers deserve. And over and over and over. So on these projects, we had custom indoor bathrooms, beautiful bathrooms, and custom indoor lunchrooms. Why? Because I'm more confident than everyone else. Because I am more determined to take care of people more than everyone else. Why do we have worker huddles? Because I decided that I am going to stick up for human beings and get it done. Why did we have wonderful environments? Why did we have a clean hoist? Why did we have the cleanest project? Why did we have safety? Why did we have zero tolerance? Why did we have one of the most wonderful material delivery, scheduling, and logistics systems? Why did we do lean improvements? Why did we actually do barbecues and fun games for the workers constantly? Why? Because I was confident and made the tough decisions. And so people are like, well, Jason, that's like the old school way of thinking. No, the old school way of thinking is where the superintendents from a place of fear didn't make the hard decisions and escaped from it and ran away from it and just told people that that's what they were going to do. I'm talking about education, educating our mind, having mentors, doing the right thing, experimenting, making sure that we're taking massive action and giving people the opportunity financially and physically to succeed with wonderful and game-changing situations and environments, and building that team as fast as they can so they can lead themselves. And so we have to be able to make those tough decisions. We are most of the time in this industry settling for mediocre. When a superintendent, and I get this all the time, for teams that don't want to perform, when superintendents are like, yeah, I don't want to do contractor grading, or I don't want to do superintendent walks in the absence of contractor grading, or I'm not going to huddle everybody every day, or I don't want to spend that much time in pre-construction, or I don't want to do tax planning. All of these things are fear. It's all about settling for mediocre. People can say, well, I intellectually disagree. You don't intellectually disagree. You know darn well that grading contractors, you know darn well that zero tolerance, you know darn well that respecting and loving our trades is the right answer, but you're afraid of it because you don't either A, know it very well, or B, you don't have the courage to make the tough decisions. So it also comes with people making progress. When we train people, especially in these boot camps, they go to another level. But guess what? At that other level, there are new problems. There are new things that they deal with. There are new discomforts. There are new issues. Yeah, so I personally don't have many other than being emotional. That's the one thing constantly with my wife. And it gets better, especially with Tony Robbins, but that's like the only role. The other thing is explaining the context of certain things. Those are the only real problems that I keep with me. I've chosen to keep those with me. The hundreds or thousands of other problems that I dealt with last year, I don't deal with those anymore. But now that I'm at a different level, wherever you think that may be, it might be lower, it might be to the side, it might be higher. But I have a new set of problems. And so staying the same is safe. You can just deal with the same problems, the same success, or you can master the problems, right? And just stay where you are because it feels safe. It's like playing a video game at the same level over and over. Why do that? Let's go into new levels, new vistas of achievement, and new problems. And the fear of having to deal with those new problems shouldn't be so large that it prevents you from making progress. So let's go back to the original point. Distraction is fear. Stress is fear. Most of the time. Sometimes you can be stressed. Well, actually, no, it's all fear. But if I feel myself getting distracted, I need to get back in the game. If I feel myself stressed, I need to focus and do the things, take the steps that are necessary for me to get back in the game. It takes making the tough decisions. If you don't feel like you could be plugged into a $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 million project or to a really tough situation and recover that project by making tough decisions, then you're not doing that on your own project. And I am saying that I love you and I want you to make those decisions. So consider this motivation from me. Please make that progress. Please make those tough decisions. Please go get that personal development training, because even though staying the same is safe, it's also ineffective, and you're hurting people and you're hurting yourself. And again, I just want to say, and I've said this example before, some people are like, yeah, I don't need that, or I'm fine taking the brunt of it. Well, imagine yourself when you're 8 years old. Did you love that kid? Did you love that little girl? Did you love her enthusiasm? Did you love his zest for life? And how do you feel now that you imagine that person, somebody treating them like crap, disrespecting them and doing bad things to them? Well, that's you. And what's the difference between that person and you now? Nothing. There's nothing different. You deserve more. Stop letting people disrespect you. Stop disrespecting yourself. It's time to make the tough decisions, because the current condition is people are in horrible, disgusting, gut-wrenching, ineffective, working too many hours, hurting their family, getting divorces, situations, not seeing their kids. So I challenge you, if you're distracted or stressed, it's fear. Get out of it. Dance with it, or stop focusing with it, or switch it and use it to your advantage so that you can make the tough decisions, head in the right direction, and get that team focused, because I promise you, there will always be a way. Resourcefulness is your greatest resource. There is always a way to get this done. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast